More than 12 million people tuned in to watch another winner at the weekend. He was McDowall, and he beat the tiny Ronan Park to win this year's Britain's Got Talent. He's 24, he's a support worker, and he walked away with £100,000 and, of course, a slot at this year's Royal Variety Performance. Jai's
busy preparing for yet more performances. He'll talk to us about that in a moment. First, let's see the moment he won this year's competition.
This was you at your best. I love that song.
You come across as such a kind, humble, cool guy, and you sing with your heart, and it comes right through, and your voice is beautiful. And I love the choir. It looked like half of Scotland was here.
You did a lot tonight. I think, actually, that you could be the dark horse in this competition.
The winner of Britain's Got Talent 2011 is...
What was that moment like?
Well, as you can see from my face, it was an absolute shocking amazement. I can't describe how good I felt when my name was shouted out, because obviously that's the ultimate goal on the show, and when you reach it, it's still a shock, even though that's what you want so much. It's unbelievable.
Even in the field of two, on the stage, that last moment, you had to think, well, I'm the outsider because all the chat about Ronan, etc.
Yeah, I mean, and things, do you know, he's such a talented kid as well, and you know it could have went either way. Do you know, and the whole time you're thinking to yourself, right, it's okay, because he's talented, and he's and by that point, do you know, he's your friend, and you're thinking you want him to win almost. Do you know that way? It's a very strange feeling.
Well, it's very generous of you, but it's not the proper competitive spirit.
No, it's very weird. It's actually, you know, a lot of people have said, you know, did you feel bad winning and things? And I was like, well, it's a strange feeling, because by the time we had got to the final, and by the time, you know, we'd spent a lot of time together rehearsing, and a lot of time at, you know, lunch and just chatting away, and we've all got the same dreams and aspirations, you know, that way, and you're wishing everybody the best, regardless of what happens. And I think by that point, you know, being able to perform, you know, to the audience of the first edition, and then the semi-final and the final, I'd already kind of reached part of my dream. I'd already performed and done what I wanted to do, and got good comments from judges and things, and at that point you're just kind of like, right, whatever happens, happens. You know, I've had a good experience.
Do you have the nod before it actually gets to the final that you're going to be all right? From Simon Cowell or somebody else saying, you know what, even if you don't win, you're going to be okay?
No, we don't. I actually still don't know whether I'm going to be all right, to be honest. No, I don't.
You've got the contract.
Well, no, we don't. What happens, it's not the same as X Factor that way. You don't get an actual contract. You don't get signed automatically. You get like the £100,000 prize money and the spot at the Royal Variety Show, but whatever happens, like, besides that, I don't know yet.
So have you had any calls?
No, not yet. He spoke to me after the show and said he's very busy with American X Factor at the moment and such things, and we've got the tour coming up this Saturday. We start the tour for the 2 weeks, so after the tour, hopefully I'll sit down with him and be able to discuss, you know, whatever's going to happen next.
Yeah. And the Royal Variety Performance, of course. You get to perform for the Queen.
Yeah, that'll be an amazing experience, I think. I don't know whether I'll wear a kilt or not. I've been
having said that, you've got to. Have you got a kilt? You got a kilt?
I don't have a kilt, actually. I don't have a kilt. I'll need to get myself one.
Do you know what would you sing?
I don't know. I've had a few days to obviously think about it, and there's a lot of songs out there that I would love to sing, but I don't know whether I would do a cover version or whether I would, you know, do a song that's been written for me or whatever. I don't know what will happen. So I'm quite excited.
How are you with nerves? And how do you control your nerves?
Oh, nerves are a very big thing for me. Obviously, in my first edition, you'll see, man, I was really bad. By the time you get to the semi-final, it's not so bad.
I didn't see it in the semi-final. I didn't see it in the
Really?
final. No, in the final either. Although you said
see
that
my
you
hands? Well, that one's the final.
it.
That's the final performance when I had won. So by that point, I was relaxed more, because I was like, oh, I've done what I wanted to do. But in the semi-final, I was wearing a T-shirt, and the backstage crew actually said to me, "Do you know, if you watch it back, you'll see your T-shirt shaking." And I was laughing at myself, and it was strange.
Taking away the competition element, even just performing in a place like that, given where you've been before, for anybody, is a nerve-wracking and an enormous challenge, isn't it?
The biggest audience I'd ever performed to would have been about 500 people, I think, and to go from that to this, wow. I mean, it blows you away, and the audience participation as well, because there's so many people there. Their reaction makes a huge difference to the performance as well, and it's a great feeling. It's an absolutely fantastic thing.
When you're singing, will you be looking, do you think, at the Queen, or will you studiously avoid?
No, I think I'll...
Which way the stalls are she in?
I'll find a point and just focus. Focus!
Yeah.
Is that what you do? Is that what you do? You find a point?
Oh yeah, you've got to.
You ignore everybody else?
I remember once I performed once at school in the big the assembly hall, as we called it, and my music teacher at the time said, "Look at the clock in the back of the room." She said, "Just pick a point and focus on it." And it's always been a good thing to go by now, because it lets you just block out, all the... Because I'd be terrible if I could see.
It's very important
people.
how you train your mind. Johnny Wilkinson, when he was kicking, he used to think of there was an imaginary woman, wasn't there, in the crowd he'd pick out.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so it's just, you've got to get your mindset. It's very clever.
Yeah, you've got to do something, to focus. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, well, good luck. When is it, the Royal Variety?
Well, the Royal Variety is, I think it's round about November. I don't have an exact date.
Okay.
Oh, you got,
but I
got
think
time to practice.
November. Oh yeah, definitely.
And get a kilt.
And get a kilt. That's right.
Get a kilt, get a song.
All right.
You'll
Get the
have
nerves
dealt with
under
nerves by
control.
then.
Hopefully.
Nice to see you, Jai.
Thank you very much for having me.
And you can catch Jai on the Britain's Got Talent tour. It starts in Newcastle this Saturday and goes around the UK for 2 weeks.
Now the time is 9 o'clock exactly. Drive